Hey, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. I have a quick story time. Now, this story time is very interesting. So, getting right on into it. So, it was literally maybe about, I want to say like 8 years ago, I think. I used to go to reggae night every Saturday night. And but this particular place, I went to reggae night every Sunday night. Now, I would always go, never miss a Sunday. I love reggae music. It is like, I just love to dance. So when I went, I used to pick up one of my friends. Well, she's an associate now. I don't really talk to her anymore, but there. But on this particular night, she actually ended up getting a car, and I would have to drive like maybe 15, 20 minutes up the in the boonies to go get her, and then we would drive back down and go to the club. So this particular night, I was like, "Are you still going or whatever?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "All right, well, we're gonna have fun, this, that, and the third." So I get ready, go to the club, and I hit her up, and I'm like, "Where you at?" She's like, "Oh, I thought you were picking me up," and I was like, "No, why would I do that? You have a brand new car. Like, no, I'm not doing that." She's like, "Oh, well," I was like, "Well, I'll wait about, 20 minutes for you to get here, and then we'll walk in together." So she was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Well, if you want to come out, you're going to have to drive yourself." So I was like, "Wow." In my mind, it's like, why would I pick you up? You have a brand new car. Like, why would I pick you up? I'm literally going out the way. So yeah, not doing that. So she finally comes. We get in there, and actually, we didn't take her that long to get there. We see where we're kind of like considered regulars there, right? So we get in. I'm really cool with the security there, and it was so many people there that night. Like, for whatever reason, it was like packed, packed. Like, it was never, ever, ever that crowded before. Like, we danced the whole night. Like, it was no sitting down. It was the DJ was like off the chain, off the hook, whatever y'all want to call it. It was like great. Like, we danced with different people the whole time or whatever. And I was dancing with this one guy, not really tripping. He asked me if I want to drink, and I was like, no, thank you, because I had to get up and go to work the next day. He's like, come on. He's like, I'll take you to the bar, and I was like, no. I was like, I'm good. Like, I don't, I'm fine, right? So if anything, I think later on that time I ended up getting some water, but I didn't for that night especially. I had to be at work at like 7. And by the time I would have gotten home, it would have been like maybe like 3 o'clock. So I've only would have gotten a couple of hours of sleep. So the spirit in me said, no, or whatever, right? He was like, come on. He's like, I'll even give you the money to go to the bar and get yourself. And I was like, no, thank you. So I danced with him another song, and then that was it. Like, I just was dancing with other people. So other guys. So then, club was, slowing down. The DJ, said this is the last call. He came back to me. He's like, are you sure you don't want to drink? I was like, no, thank you. I don't want to drink. So I ended up, switched dance partners and started dancing with somebody else. So I really wasn't tripping. So my friend, who is a security guard there, a male, club's getting ready to close. He came to me and he was like, hey, he was like, I'm gonna walk with you to your car, just wait for me. So I'm like, whatever. I mean, he normally walks me to my car every night, but I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So the lights came on, and we were getting ready to literally go. So I was like, it was like 5 minutes. I was like, my car is just like right out, like it's around the corner. Like, I'm not tripping, right? So he had came out. He said, hold on. He's like, I'm coming over, right? Security, you have to secure the whole building, make sure nobody's in the bathroom, make sure nobody's in those cutoff corners. They got to make sure everybody is out. So I'm like, I told my friend, I was like, he's taking too long. I was like, let's just go. So the guy who kept asking me if I wanted to drink, he was outside, right? So I wasn't paying him no mind. He was like, okay. He was like, I hope you have a good night. I was like, okay, thanks, you too. My friend, she was all, caked up with somebody, and I was like, we was like, we'll just wait for each other to get in the car. But I was walking to my car. Her car was like 2 cars over. I unlocked my car. She was still talking to the guy. I'm like, can you pull off so you exchange numbers so that we can go? Because I'm getting tired, right? I'm getting sleepy. I got to be at work. So I left my car, get ready to get in my car, and my foot was in the car, and I was like literally like halfway in, and the guy slides in my car, and I was like, oh my God, like, he was like, I'm going with you. And I was like, no, you're not. You need to get out of my car, right? So I'm trying to be calm because, like, I had already put my phone in the middle console. So my phone was in my middle console. And, like, my pepper spray was, like, near my console as well, too. So I was not going to be able to pull it, like, in time. I was like, you need to get out of my car. So my friend, she was like, ooh, he liked you because he waited the whole night for, like, she's like kind of like egging him on, and the other guy was like, oh man, y'all look cute together. And I'm like, in my mind, like, no, like, y'all, somebody need to come get him out of my car. Like, that's where I was at, because at this time I started getting upset. I was already annoyed, because I'm just thinking, oh, he drunk or whatever, right? So he was not getting out of my car. My friend, she was just so just oblivious to the fact that your friend need help. Like, get this man out. Somebody come get this man out of my car. Like, get him out of my car, right? So he not budging, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this out of all nights, there is no police. No. Usually it's police there till whenever, because where the club is positioned, it is considered a college city as well too, because the college is like 7 miles going back up in the hills. And I was like, Lord, out of all, just why? So I'm literally telling him to get in my car. I'm like getting frantic. Like, I'm not getting in my car. I was afraid to reach in my car to get my pepper spray. I was afraid to reach and get my phone because I don't know this man. I've never seen this man before other than that night that all this was happening. So I'm like, Lord, I need help. Like, this is not cool, right? So he was all saying, he was telling me, he's like, come on, get in the car, I'm gonna go with you. And I was like, bro, I don't know you. Like, get out of my car. Like, I don't know anything about you. Get out my car, get out my car, get out my car. So then my friend, she's still laughing and giggling with the other guy at 2 cars. I'm like, hey, I need help. Like, I don't know. I said, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. I'm like, girl, I need help. She's like, I'll be over there in a minute. I was like, you know what? No, screw you. Pretty much I was getting upset. Like, I was getting livid. Thank God. And when I say thank God, my security guard friend came with the whole security guard crew. He was glaring at me. And he was like coming out. He was like, didn't I tell you to wait for me? I said wait for me. He said, this is the reason why I said wait for me. But then he looked at me, he said, hey bro, he was like, it's time to go. Get out her car. So it was a group of security guards. They was actually like waiting or whatever. So he was like, I don't know where you about to go, but you need to get away from her. So I was like, my mom, I'm like, oh my God, like, thank you. Cause I was just like, my friend, she was like, oh my God, what's going on? I just put my head down. I'm just looking at her like, you're just no good. Like, you just no good. So they had my friend, he said, get in your car. I'm going to stay on the phone with you. He was like, I'm going to give you a 20-minute head start so you can get on the road and get home. He was like, we going to hold him. He was like, I've seen him before, or whatever. He never bothered nobody else. He said, but it's just something. He said, I saw everything in the camera. So he said, that's why I came out here. He said, but the next time I need for you to like literally wait for me, whatever, right? He was like, I didn't really tell you up front because I didn't want you to freak out and be paranoid. But I was just like, and my mom just like, I'm not mad at him because I'm actually thankful, but I was just so happy that 1, I didn't drink. 2, I actually paid attention, as I was getting in my car. But the thing is, I thought he had left. I didn't like see him or whatever, right? But I'm just so grateful that, my friend cared enough to make sure that I, was able to get in my car safely or whatever, right? Well, not really at that time, but he came, after the fact. So he ended up telling me that when I got home, he wanted to make sure I was good. He said they held him for like 20 minutes talking to him. They said that he was overly intoxicated. They said that he had they ended up getting him a taxi. At the time, this was before Uber and Lyft. They got him a cab to let him go home, and his car was there, but they said that he was too messed up to like drive or whatever. But all I can say is I'm very thankful for my friend, my real friend, because I don't want to think about what could have happened. I was really, really scared. Like, I didn't know, really what to do. I was trying to be patient. I was trying not to panic in front of him, in front of the guy. And honestly, at the end of the day, I did end up going back. I didn't go back that next week. It took me a while to go back because I did not want to see that guy ever again. And for two, I had to find another friend to go with. I've been out by myself a couple times before, and always but my security guard friend has always walked me to my car. That's how I ended up knowing him, because when I used to go out by myself a lot, he would always walk me to my car and make sure I got home safely. But I never went out with that female friend ever again, and thankfully I never saw that other guy again. That's my story. It just says, if I can say anything to anybody, just be patient. It's a reason why my friend was telling me to wait, even though I was being impatient, because I was just trying to go home. But that was a very scary situation for me. That's my story time. I made it home. Thank God. Thanks for watching. See y'all later.